So I personally, I know I'm biased, but I love the story as to how I got into fitness. As a kid, I was always, I was a competitive softball player. I was on 3 different travel teams, played on the high school team, played intramural in college. And growing up, since the time I was 3, I danced competitively. For a long time, I thought I was going to go to Juilliard as opposed to college. But once I hit college and after, I kind of became not sedentary, but I definitely didn't take my fitness and my health seriously until I was about 25 years old and I got kidney stones. And when I went to this doctor, they took the x-rays and they said, listen, we found a lump in between, or a tumor in between your lung and your ribs. Long story short, surgeons said we can either monitor it or take it out because we can't tell if it's malignant or not. And I said, well, if I was your daughter, what would you do? And he said, I take it out. He said, take it out. So he took it out, but as a result of the actual surgery, where they had to collapse my lungs, they had to remove all the muscle from my ribs, he said, you know, this is going to be a really arduous recovery process. And despite the fact that you were pretty healthy going into it, I don't foresee you ever being able to do any type of intensive cardiovascular activity. And if you do any type of weight training, you're really going to have to watch yourself so that muscle doesn't tear off your ribs again. And I was in the ICU when he told me this. And at the time I said, Mom, I'm very stubborn. I said, Mom, sign me up for a half marathon in California. And she's like, are you insane? I said, no, 6 months out. I have 6 months to train for it. Now, you don't know me, but I absolutely hate running more than anything. Like right now, if you were to see me running down the street, there's probably a ferocious animal chasing me. So with that being said, I wanted to prove not just to the surgeon, but more so to myself that I could accomplish this task. So I trained, I crossed the finish line of that marathon, and I said, that's never gonna happen again. And I went on and I was like, all right, what else can I do? Bike riding. So I actually really love bike riding. I proceeded the next 3 years to do 100-mile or century rides, as they call them over here, 100-mile bike rides from the city to the shore to benefit MS. And they were great, but I got bored with that. And that's when I ultimately found bodybuilding. I was watching ESPN and they were filming the Mr. Olympia at the time. And I said, listen, my God, those women are chiseled. They look awesome. If I got myself a trainer and really dedicated like the next year into devoting all my attention towards like training and dieting properly, I could do that. So I hired a trainer and I proceeded to step foot on stage a year later. And I did pretty well. But in the process, I realized that the way that this particular coach trained me was not the healthiest way. I ended up losing my menstrual cycle for about 2 years as a result. I was really tired, lethargic, weak afterwards. Like I looked good for stage purposes, but I was not healthy. And that's when I really fell in love with figuring out, you know, what is the proper way to fuel my body and to provide my body with what it needs for the specific goal that I have in mind. And that's been, I was 30 at the time, I'm 39 now, so 9 years ago. And I've recently gotten another dose of that reality, that how important health is, when for the last 3 years, I took care of 2 sick parents that unfortunately have passed away from cancer. And they were both only 65 years old. So again, it not only reminded me how important our health is and the fact that we only have one body and we need to treat it like the temple that it really is, but that life is short. And as much as I'm grateful for the career that I have now. I'm in medical device sales. My true passion is helping other people find their way to the best version of themselves, to the healthiest version of themselves, to realize that they can accomplish goals that people or maybe even themselves are saying are impossible. You can't do this. I've been there. I know what it feels like, and it sucks until you realize that you can do it. It may not happen as quickly as you want it to, but if you have the drive and the want, you just need somebody to lead you on the right path. And I want to be that person that leads them on the right path. And a huge part of that was finding 1stPhorm back in 2013. I mean, I've mentioned it multiple times. I thought that I was allergic to whey. I mean, I have lactose intolerance, and for years I would consume whey products and I would just get sick. I get gassy and bloated and just feel terrible until I found the Formula One Ignition Stack, which I use to this very day for post-workout. That is how I found 1stPhorm, and I ended up staying with 1stPhorm, not just because their products are wonderful, but because the people is wonderful. And they're truly a family of people that I want to be associated with and that I would be proud to call my family. I mean, I still do, regardless of what happens, I still do. But you guys just stand for everything that I want for other people. I want people to realize that they truly have the potential within them to accomplish whatever goal they have set in their mind. And they won't always be able to see that goal, but it's my job as a 1stPhorm Legionnaire and potentially as a 1stPhorm athlete or trainer to help them see that and to guide them along that path and to hold them up when they just want to dig themselves deeper into a hole, and to make sure they know that no is not an option. Not yet is okay, but no is never an option. So with that being said, I would love to be a 1stPhorm sponsored athlete. And I don't ask for things that I don't think I deserve. And with all the humility in the world, I know I deserve this, and I won't let you down.